Stakeholders in Soufriere have been brought into the conversation as works continue on the L-shaped jetty at Port Soufriere. A stakeholder consultation was recently held at the Soufriere Regional Development Foundation boardroom to outline the scope and potential impacts of the project, which is being delivered by Saint Lucia Cruise Port. The meeting formed part of efforts to ensure transparency and coordination as the town prepares for construction activity along the waterfront. According to the executive chairman of the Soufriere Regional Development Foundation, Ernest Auger, stakeholder engagement remains central in everything that the organization does.
We invited all the stakeholders to, one, view the scope of works to be conducted by cruise ports, two, understand the implications, traffic management, garbage collection, visitor harassment, and all of that. And that was the intention behind it. So just we can fill them into the whole program as to what it entails, what is required of us as a community that would benefit from the initiative, and prepare the community on the whole to engage in that form of development.
The general manager of Saint Lucia Cruise Port, Lancelot Arnold, explained that the project will be delivered in as little time as possible, with very limited interruptions to regular operations.
The contractor has indicated he needs about 4 months to have it completed, and as I was explaining previously at our stakeholders meeting, the construction is being done in such a manner or undertaken in such a manner to minimize disruptions to the current operations on what is usable of the existing L-shaped jetty. So in that, the contractor has started from the northernmost part and will be working southbound to make sure that the operations, like I said, are continued throughout the cruise season.
Also urged mariners and all other stakeholders to pay attention to all signage. Local businessman Michael Gustav lauded the SRDF and the Saint Lucia Cruise Port for the engagement, stating that it was necessary for stakeholders to come together to discuss the timeline of the project.
The relationships between those entities are of critical importance to the Soufriere community, and I must say that both GPH and the foundation have lived up to their commitments in terms of informing all of the stakeholders, and today was yet a typical example of such. So again, I would like to say thank you to the government of St. Lucia for the consideration for the vision and forward planning, in particular our DR, who has worked feverishly in trying to ensure that this activity comes to fruition.
The Royal Saint Lucia Police Force was also represented at the consultation. Inspector in charge of the Soufriere and Choiseul police stations, Kimori Rene, explained that plans are already in motion to assist with any disruptions that may arise.
From a motoring perspective, from a traffic perspective, there is a traffic plan in place. There will not be too much disruption. As you could see, there is a badge right behind us, and most of the activities and operations of that project will happen from there. However, there are certain aspects of it that must be done from a land perspective, land-based perspective. The concrete pouring and the movement of certain pieces of equipment. However, most of that will happen during the evening, so it will not directly interfere with the day-to-day, daytime operations of our taxi drivers, our business people on the streets.
Officials say stakeholder consultations will continue as the project advances, with an emphasis on communication, coordination, and minimizing disruption while the works on the L-shaped jetty move forward. From the Soufriere Regional Development Foundation, I am Genevieve Gonzague.